Whatever the future holds for theatrical releases worldwide of upcoming movies still remains to be seen, but Marvel Studios, as of right now, still seems very content on giving us a theatrical experience and a completely different experience over on Disney+. So there is a recent interview with Marvel Studios Executive Vice President Victoria Alonso, who has been part of Marvel movies for like 20 years. And whenever she's asked about something, she does have to sort of address whatever the situation is, but not in a unofficial sort of I can sort of lie to you, Kevin Feige way. She's a little bit more direct and forthcoming with her answers, but she doesn't disclose everything outright. So she was asked about the situation currently with theatrical distribution and the importance of having Disney Plus as well, and she wanted to talk a little bit about the differences between the two. And she did go on and say that if you look at films like Avengers Endgame, for example, or if you look at upcoming films that they have, those films were designed with a specific viewing style and certain amounts of people, thousands of people sometimes, that work on these movies, and thousands of people that go on opening nights. And theatrical movies are made to be consumed by consumers in the theater. Whereas on Disney Plus, you have a different way of consuming the entire product. And if we look at The Mandalorian, that's your prime example I can use right now. The Mandalorian is much more slower paced, it's a different style of storytelling in a different medium, whereas to the film side of things, it's go all out, give us 10,000 ships in a giant final battle, over the top, absolute insanity. And that's what she wanted to talk about, where their goal is to still look at Disney Plus in the Mandalorian style way. It's smaller scale, it's different, it's 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 hours worth of content that's spread out across multiple hours and the different style of storytelling, where the movies need to remain movies. And that's where the future of the MCU was brought up, and she says they're still very committed to the entire idea of going to theaters. Theatrical releases are still being planned. Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, all that down the road is all going to theaters. Now, what happens in the future, if things change, that will get updated, but as of right now, they're very committed to it. And this would involve the likes of the shareholders, of course. We've talked about that previously. They're saying, we want Black Widow on video on demand because this might be enough for us to look at this as a viable source that's an alternative to theaters. She's still very much committed to the theatrical window, but as they mentioned, things are changing. So as of right now, it's still looking like theatrical is the way to go, but we need to wait to see what the future holds.